Yes, you read the caption right. This is a Tesla Model 3 Performance, and we are going to take this out for a little test drive so I can tell you all about it. Okay, so we are in the Tesla now, and the thing that everybody says when they get in the Tesla, they've got two opinions. One is either the Tesla itself is nice, it's luxurious, it feels good, it feels spacious inside, or two, people go the absolute opposite and say, oh, they look really bad and they've just got a giant iPad. The thing is though, what I find, because I've driven this, as I said, this is my dad's Tesla, so it's a work vehicle, it's used for like daily commuting, which is why I'm talking about this as like a daily vehicle. And the thing is about when you get in one of these that I love so much, and obviously for filming it hasn't happened, everything is connected for me. So the moment I open the car door via my phone, I don't have to get my key. I know it's such a first world situation, but I literally, for someone on the go, I'm doing filming with clients, I'm coming to AR, I'm shooting some content, I literally open the door, get in the car, put it in reverse. You can see straight away the reversing camera comes up. We've got a really cool parking, you might be able to see it on the back camera. Got a really cool parking kind of indicator of where people are on the map. It's got this whole like 3D resolution thing. Then you've got a reverse parking camera. I hit the stalk here to park. It comes back to as it is. I can then open the boot, I can open the bonnet, I can open the charging bay, I can move the car around. It's a very responsive system. But then if I get on the road, I'll show you what it looks like, because putting it in reverse, we just move the stalk up to reverse. And then literally let's just get around the corner and then we'll get out of here. It's so smooth to drive, because this is the thing, it goes straight to Google Maps as well. So if I put in here, maybe our office space, so let's go P0157AZ, and I go straight in for it. It's now loaded up. I'm in the middle of Durley at the moment, and it's loaded up straight away. At the bottom here, it tells me the time of arrival, it tells me how long it's going to take, it tells me how many miles away it is, and how much battery I'm going to have left at the end. So how much percentage of battery I'm going to have at the end. Up the top here, I've kind of segued into this, just the top here shows me how many miles are left on the battery. I've got my speedo at the top right. I've got, you know, park, reverse, neutral, drive, chill mode, because I'm not in sport mode right now, because sport mode in this thing is, you know, the same as a Lamborghini. It does 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, because this is the Performance Model 3S. Well, we've got somebody coming, so I'm just gonna move out of the way. Probably the worst time to do a filming is on one of these backcountry roads in Durley. But the point that I was making before I digressed onto all of this is, it's such a comfortable daily. It's such a good motor to get into. And I use motor lightly because it's not got the engine, it's not got the suspension, the exhaust, the thrill, the exhilaration. Me and my dad joke and say that this is an appliance. This is a MacBook. It is literally, I get in the car, it plays my music for me, I don't have to do anything. I put it in drive, I drive away. I don't have to sit and warm the engine, make sure the oil's running in the engine. If I have to do a 30-second trip up the road, it doesn't matter. If I have to do a 5-minute trip up the road, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter on the engine load, because there is no engine. It is battery and it's motors. So the feel of driving this thing as well, I mean, like I said, this is a Tesla 3 Performance. It's so smooth to drive. This one's got uprated springs, they're slightly stiffer. We've got the bigger alloys. We've got Brembo brakes as well. I think there's 6-piston calipers on these. This is, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, 475 brake horsepower as well. All-wheel drive, so the traction is insane. We're running Pirelli P0 Neros. I could talk to you about all the car stuff all day long, but you real petrol heads, same as me, would be sat here going, yeah, but it's an electric car. And this is the thing, I might be converted on one of these, because for business and for the fact that I run my own business, there still is a huge amount of benefits to having an electric daily. And if you're gonna get an electric daily, in my eyes, you should get a Tesla because of the infrastructure around the UK with regards to charging. And coming back to this, it's such a smooth drive. And for me, I think it's luxurious inside. You've got a huge amount of storage space on here. We've got 2 phone chargers, huge amount of storage in here. There's 2 USB inputs on the back there with chargers. When I go to do anything with the aircon, it's just there, and I can direct the fans however I want, and it's nice and clean, looks all good. When we start talking bougie, I can get the app up and I can precondition the car temperature before I walk to the car. So say for instance, if you're an early commuter and you have to get up at 5, in those winter mornings, you can precondition your car to be nice and warm, have heated steering wheel, heated seats, and you can sort all of that out on your app before you even get to the car. So it really is the most like first world, like just problem solving machine. And that's what it is. It's just a machine. It's just a daily vehicle. I don't look at these as cars. I kind of look at them as a solution to travel and traveling in such luxury style. On top of that, one thing that I don't know if you can see it from this back camera is I'm driving this entire time on one pedal. So I've taken my feet off the pedals at the moment, and we regenerative brake at the same time. But then I pull away, literally pedal, foot off the pedal, start braking as well. So it's an incredibly smooth drive when you get used to that one pedal driving. You just have to make sure you're not like a little bit of a twitchy driver who a little bit of acceleration every now and then. You kind of need to keep your foot on the accelerator pedal at kind of all times and lift off, push down kind of thing. It's a bit of a weird thing to get driving, but if you're a petrol head, you'll pick that up so quickly. I was looking and have been looking for many different dailies to go alongside the Abarth. My Abarth is like my pride and joy. I think it is one of the best, and I've been spoiled, it's one of the best cars that you can buy, because for the amount of money you spend, you get supercar levels of happiness. I've driven so many high performance cars, and so many times I've gotten back in my Abarth and I've just gone, wow, this is everything. Like, it's got the noise, it's got the gear change, it's so raw, got giant Brembos, and even though this thing has 6 piston calipers, my 330 Brembos in the Abarth stops the car due to the fact that it's a small car, it's lightweight, all that sort of thing. Stops it so quickly and with so much confidence that even this thing can't do it in that sense. But moving on from that, I know the thing that everybody talks about cars, you know, electric cars, there's 2 big topics that come up, because I've been speaking to a lot of people about this at the moment, and where I've driven this as a bit of a daily, it's been a bit of an eye-opener to see how people think. So one thing that you might be asking is, it's the range. So like, how much range do you realistically get? Well, this car, being the performance, has 280 miles when you fully charge. So if you're in the UK, and that is 280 actual miles, like a lot of people say, oh, but how many is it really with your right foot? My dad will, he'll go blue in the face if I don't mention this, but essentially he tells me that the best speed to drive an electric car is 66 miles an hour on the motorway, because you will get the most amount of range out of it. And one of the things you can do on the Tesla as well, if that back camera's picking this up, is you've got this kind of range here. And essentially, this will tell you all the analytics down to how you're driving, how much climate, the battery conditioning, elevation, everything else. So if you're using a lot of power on your long time journey, you can kind of predict all of it during this, and it's really accurate. I don't care about this personally, because I'm not somebody who really cares. My dad loves it. I've got to get Big Steve on the channel to show you about this. The one thing I'll say though, is coming out of a junction just then, you know, it's a bit of a blind junction. I was starting to pull out, saw a Range Rover behind me, going what looked like 45, 50, put your foot down in this, not a problem. I was out, not a problem, no traction problems because it's all-wheel drive, turned the corner perfectly, put my foot down, instant power. So like real world problems like that, this car is really, really good at. But digressing, going back to what I was talking about, the one thing that people talk about is obviously then the range anxiety that people get. This is the performance, so it's 280 miles like I was mentioning, which means that when you put in a journey here, say for instance I was going to Newcastle, right? And I put the journey in here, this would then tell me what the best supercharger to stop at en route would be throughout my journey. So even if you want to kind of plan your journey to something like Newcastle, okay, you can't just jump in the car and drive 5 hours up the road like you could in something like a Jag or a Merc or an Audi, but you definitely could stop for half an hour, grab something to eat. If you're going to do a long journey across the UK, stop, have something to eat. If you stop at a Tesla place, you get free Wi-Fi and coffee. So if you really want to be that person, you can sit and answer your emails if you've got, you know, if you're traveling for work. The range thing on the long range ones, as far as I'm aware, is about 330, 350 miles you get from a tank essentially. But for me, the thing to look at with regards to the range thing, which it's always been my biggest quarrel, because I'll give you an example. I'm kind of like going off on one here. I'll give you an example. Say, you know, we live down the south, we're next to AR Autos. What if you want to go to London, you go to London, you're in a bit of a rush, so you end up using a little bit more of the juice than you want to. You don't stick to your 66, you do a few overtakes. You get to London, you go watch a show in the evening, it goes into the night time, you've left your car on idle, it's all good, and then you need to drive back at like 1 AM. If you're driving back from London at 1 AM, you then suddenly find that, oh, I need to stop and get some, essentially, juice in the tank. You can't just stop at a petrol station and fill up, same as a normal car, chuck it away and then just crack on with your day. You do have to go and figure out, okay, well, I've got to go sit at a charger for 15, 20 minutes. And at 1 in the morning, when you're driving out of London, by the time you actually get to a charger, it's about 2. You aren't sat there thinking, oh, this is all right, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, this thing's incredible. It streams Netflix, like, super quick, probably quicker than most, like, laptops. It's got games on it. It's an insane bit of kit. So, like, entertainment-wise, you're pretty much sorted. But it is it's just, again, it's a first world problem, but it's such a pain to have to then think about having to go charge for 15, 20 minutes. Now, maybe I'm just impatient, but that's the thing that would let me down in terms of, like, the range anxiety. But if I'm honest, in a real, like, how many times are you going to be really doing that a year? And B, the one thing that I then look at is, with this car, I can charge it up to 80% or 100% if I know I'm doing a bit of a journey. And I can do that overnight without having to go to a petrol station. So I literally, on my driveway, can get this fully charged up. I can then use it for however many days I need to use it, and then go home. Say I'm doing a long journey, come home, charge it again straight away. So on the flip side, I don't actually have to consciously think about, oh, I'm on my way home, I've got to stop at a petrol station, or petrol station's busy because it's rush hour, or oh, first thing in the morning, I've got to go see a client, look down at the petrol and go, I've got to stop for petrol, so I've now got to account for that on my way to see a client. Maybe I've got to turn off. So, like, for me, in terms of, like, where my calendar can change quite quickly, that's a very personal thing. But if you're a commuter, or even if you do run your own business, or even if you're just driving it for the sake of it, having the charger at home on this is insane. And then we go on to the price. The price to fill this up, I think, is like £10. £10. That's a nice Jag. £10. So my car in the Abath, fully tanked at 35 litres with super unleaded, is £55. I can get the same amount of mileage out of this, because it does about the same miles, like, let's just say 220 on average. Does 220 miles, my Abath does 220 miles to a tank. £55 or £10. It's wild. So, like, in terms of the actual price, crazy. And again, if you own a business, you can put all of it against your business. It's fantastic. So, moving on to the second thing, so that was the first thing, was straight away, it's all the range anxiety. And then the second thing that people always talk about when it comes to the electric cars is the speed. And it's the way that the power can be put down, it's the way you can accelerate, and it's the way that you can do everything you want to do in that sort of sense. Don't get me wrong, this thing, like I said, 0 to 60, 3 seconds, you put it in sport, phenomenal. But it's a bit of a gimmick, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's not really many, other than your mate getting in the car and going, oh my God, this is one of the Teslas. You go, yeah, look how fast this is. And you hoon it from the line to 60, and then you go, that was really cool, and then you turn it off. You don't ever really use it. But, like I said and showed you in that perfect example, when this Range Rover is about to pass me, decided to go around the corner a little bit quicker than everybody else, I could pull out completely safely, not a problem, it's all good. So really, the conclusion of this is, what is this? Because I don't see it as a car. I see it, like I said, a solution to transport. And it's a fantastic thing to drive. It's a nice place to be. The seats are comfortable. The steering wheel is like a good thickness. It's almost, I wonder if Elon is a petrol head himself, or if the person who designed this is a petrol head, because it's like a good thickness to sit and like drive. It's got everything you want in terms of like electric seats. So I can move back, I can move forward. Whatever I change my seat to, I can click save to make sure that my seat is in the position it is. It is a funny vehicle, but like I said, it's a bit of a MacBook. The features on it are endless. I could do another video just specifically on the features. I think I've got to show you the app as well. Maybe do a video specifically about the app because of how you can use it. But if I'm honest, the reason that I wanted to bring this car up and bring this onto the channel is because I want this channel to be a petrol head channel, and petrol heads will come to a point where they might have to think about getting an electric car. And this is quite an interesting electric car. The performance specs of it are wild. The fact that it's got Brembos, 475 odd brake horsepower is crazy. But would I actually go and buy one? I don't know. I feel like you guys need to tell me what that's about. Do you know what? I'm going to show you some of the features on this. So I'm going to go handheld for 2 seconds and just show you this. So this is the app that you basically get with Tesla, right? So essentially, you can see here, you've got the Tesla, it's a little bit reflective, but you've got the lock screen, you've got release notes, you've got controls, and all that sort of thing. So you can, like I said, you can precondition your car with these here. You can go to controls. Oh, you can hear I turned off the aircon. Go to controls, we can lock the vehicle, we can unlock the vehicle, we can come down here, touch the horn, start, vent, all of it. So we can do all of the things we need to via the car here, including, like I said, we can change the climate, change who's got heated rear seats, all that sort of stuff. It's a wild bit of kit looking at this vehicle. You can kind of see me in the reflection there, so apologies for the weird kind of GoPro footage there. But yeah, so essentially everything including your roadside can be done via this app. It is fantastic. And then we get on to, like I said, the actual screen itself and what you can do. And there's so many different things. Like I said, we've got the radio there, so we can go straight to Talk Sport. We can look at the kind of analytics here on the board. We can go to here. We've got all of these different apps. I don't know if you want to pause and have a little look at what apps you've got on the screen. We can come down here, we come to the car. You can change the color of the car if you want. You can turn it around. It's just a little bit gimmicky in that sense, but like I said, you've got all the gears here, chill. If I want to put it into sport, I press this button here, go to dynamics, change it into sport, change the way that steering is, your track mode, stopping mode, so you can have it the way you want. You've got slip start on here, and you've got all of these different things for the car, all of the lights, folding mirrors, you've got the windscreen wipers, we've even got a dash cam, we've got Sentry mode. If I go straight here, click saving because it was recording, that's all fantastic, it's great. You've got charging, so it tells you how to charge. I can open the charge port, I can schedule it to charge. Last paid at Fleet, there you go, £5 for the last paid thing. We've got the autopilot that you cannot use in the UK to do like the auto steer and so on and so forth. It's not allowed, but you've got all of it there. It's whenever the Tesla then has updates, you can plug it in and automate the update to do it overnight, so you don't have to. Again, it's a MacBook. It's not a real car, it's a MacBook. That's what this thing is. It's phenomenal. Like, there you go, software update. It's got Wi-Fi on board, everything. It's stupid. It is wild. It is a crazy car. So there we have it. You let me know in the comments what you think about electric cars. I want to hear all of them. I love reading all the comments. I might not get around to them straight away, but I do get around to them as soon as I possibly can. What other cars do you want to see on the channel? What other cars do you want to know about? Is there a car that you see and you think I'd love to, learn a little bit more about it? What's the interior like? What's the exterior like? What's it like to drive? If you want a little rundown on these types of vehicles, let me know. And then what kind of content would you like to see on the channel as well? Even if it's not specifically about driving different cars, what kind of channel content? We've got some incredibly fun things coming up this year that I can't wait to share with you on the channel, but I want to hear from you guys because you're the reason that this channel gets made. It's because everybody who watches it, all the lovely comments we get, the likes, the subscriptions, we've just got over 1,000, which is incredible. So I'm gonna go talk to Ant and see if we can do some form of competition. But anyway, the sun is out, hope you're enjoying it. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Plenty more content to come. See you soon.